Hey guys, this is Tom over at Speedlock. We're going to be taking my 2021 R1 test bike for a spin today, so I can show you how the cruise control system works for it. This system works for any 2020 or newer Yamaha R1. So if you got that, if it's an R1 or an R1M, the system is going to be compatible. Really any country, right? Fortunately, Yamaha made it pretty straightforward, pretty uniform globally. So this is going to work in any country that we know of on an R1 or an R1M. So let's go ahead and hop on and I'll show you guys how the system works. Alright, so let's try it out. We're in 5th gear, about 50 miles an hour. So all I got to do is hold down the menu wheel for 2 seconds. So 1, 2, let go of the throttle, boom, there we are. Beautiful. A little bit of a hill there. So the system it's reading in the motorcycle's speed. It's got that speed feedback, and it's adjusting the throttle signal so that it can hold the motorcycle's speed. So this is much better than, you know, your throttle lock, right? A throttle lock is not going to be smart like this. This system is actually doing all the math many times per second. It's iterating on this and it's figuring out exactly what throttle signal to send to hold that speed steady. If I want to adjust speed, let's say I want to speed up a little bit, let's do 5 miles an hour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or if I want to slow down, just turn it down a little bit. Got a few clicks there. And again, if I want to speed up, give it a few clicks upward. Watch it accelerate. And then it holds speed right where we told it to. It's super easy to use. I'm a bit biased, but I prefer this to the normal motorcycle cruise control where you have to keep pressing the up or down button. This one, it just feels a lot more intuitive, a lot more natural. Especially if you're in traffic and you just suddenly need to slow down, just give it a jam downward. There you go. It works pretty good. And of course, to cancel, I can use the front brake, the rear brake, or press the menu wheel button for about a half second. So I'll just tap the front brake here. That's it. And we're slowing down. Cruise control is off. Alright, so we'll do another example. We'll do 4th gear here. So again, we're above 30 miles an hour, which is the minimum in 4th gear. I'm going to hold that menu wheel down for 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, let go, and there you go. We're cruising in 4th gear, set it right to 40 miles an hour. And you know, we're going up a hill and it's just holding that speed steady. Another way to cancel is by pressing the menu wheel for about 1/2 of a second. So just press that and it cancels. So you have multiple ways to shut it off. Alright, so the R1 cruise control system works in 3rd through 6th gear with a minimum speed of 30 miles per hour, which is about 48 kilometers per hour. So that gives you a pretty wide range. Really, any reasonable condition you would want to use cruise control, you're able to. So now I'm in 6th gear at kind of low speed, sitting about 45 to 50 miles an hour here. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn on cruise control, give you a feel for 6th gear at kind of low speed. So again, that menu wheel, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, let go, and there we are. Another thing, you can always use the throttle. So for example, I'll activate in 5th gear. So now cruise control is on. Say I want to speed up, I can give it a little throttle, let off, and it's going to go ahead and pick back up. It has a 30-second timeout, so if you're more than 3 miles per hour off of your set speed for 30 seconds, it's going to go ahead and automatically cancel. Alright, so again, here we go. 6th gear, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Notice I'm holding the throttle in the position I want it to maintain speed. You don't necessarily have to do that. You could activate it with a closed throttle, but I think generally speaking, that's how you would normally activate a cruise control system. And so that's how I'm doing it here. Holding speed real nice, of course. It's super handy to just let your hand relax, even if it's just for 5 minutes, you know. It feels great. So as an example, I said front or rear brake. So we're in cruise control. I'm going to tap that rear brake and it turns off. So you can use either the front or the rear brake to cancel. Worst case, you can always pull in that clutch. This system is not designed to automatically cancel cruise control just based on the clutch pull alone. So when you pull in the clutch, the throttle is still going to be controlled by the cruise control system until the RPM dips below or above the safe range. And that safe range is essentially just dictated from our testing. I'll give you a quick example. So 4th gear, set cruise control. So we're in cruise control. So now I'm only just going to pull in the clutch and watch what it does. See? So it revved because it was trying to hold speed even though the bike was decelerating a little bit. So it tried giving it a little bit more throttle. The RPM got too high for this speed. The cruise control system detects that and it automatically cancels. So again, that's not the recommended cancellation method. You want to use the front or rear brake, or again, press that menu wheel button for about a ½ second. Those are the recommended cruise control cancellation methods. I'll give you a quick low speed example. So this is a pretty common scenario. You know, you're just going through the neighborhood, trying not to get a speeding ticket, right? So we're right about 30 miles an hour. I'm going to set that cruise control in 3rd gear, and there we go. Set it all the way down, easy peasy. It's a great way to save a lot of money on a speeding ticket. Especially when you're riding one of these bikes. Way too easy to be going a little too fast. Alright guys, so a little bonus footage for you. Also wanted to show you how to use the quick shifter while you're in cruise control. So this is kind of unique to this system. A lot of manufacturers still don't offer this. But anyway, all you have to do is, just like when you're normally riding, you need to make sure that you either have the throttle closed to downshift or have sufficient throttle to upshift. So we're looking for that green arrow next to the QS, the up or down arrow, right, as usual. So if I go ahead and set cruise control, I'm in 6th gear. So now cruise is set. So let's say I want to downshift. I just, you know, traffic is slowing down a little bit, but I don't necessarily want to cancel cruise control. I'm going to give it a downward command and then just bump that downshift. And it's going to pick right back up right about where I set it. And vice versa. Now if I want to speed up, I could either use the throttle and give it an upshift, or I can command a higher speed. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to give it a sufficient high command, bump it up into 6th gear, and boom, there you are. So So I'll do another example. We'll bump it down into 4th gear. I'm going to set cruise control. So setting, there we go. So we're in cruise control mode. Now I'm just going to give it a little throttle, bump it up, maybe bump up that command a little bit to match the speed I got to. There we go. That way I don't have to keep turning cruise control on and off, right? And if I want to go back down, give it a down command, bump it into 4th gear, and we're going to slow back down to that speed that we set, right? So there we go. Pretty easy, just like that. Again, upward. There's 5th gear. So no clutch, just quick shifting while we're keeping it in cruise control. So let's say I go ahead and set cruise control, hold down the menu wheel. Alright, we're set, cruising along. And then if I just want to slow down a little bit, give it a down command, hit that downshift, and it'll go down into 4th gear. And you can see a couple scrolls down is a pretty good sized command. That brought me down about 10 miles an hour, so it's pretty solid. Like I said, it's nice because you're not jamming the up and down buttons like 100 times to change your speed, you know. Give that menu wheel a flick up or down and you'll make a pretty good size speed adjustment, which is really nice. Alright, we'll set cruise one more time just for funsies. Let cruise control handle it here. Anyway guys, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We're always happy to help. Thanks. Have a good one, guys.